There is a building at the edge of the city that never fully goes dark. It does not stand out during the day. It looks like a place that once mattered, and now simply remains. No signs. No open doors. No posted hours. But at night, one light always stays on. Not a bright light. Not enough to guide anyone inside. Just enough to confirm that something within the building has not stopped. Inside, there is a radio station. It no longer broadcasts in the way people expect. No music schedules. No announcements. No voices introducing themselves. Yet the equipment still hums. The air is warm around the machines. Cool everywhere else. Cables lie where they were left. Not carefully arranged. Not disturbed. The microphones are clean. Not polished. Just untouched. No one remembers exactly when the station stopped signing off. There was no final broadcast. No farewell message. One night, the station simply stayed on. And then it kept staying on. Somewhere, far from the building, a radio receiver catches something unusual. Not a signal. Not music. Just space. A low, steady noise that does not fluctuate. If you stumble onto it by accident, you might think your radio is broken. But if you listen longer, you notice something else. The noise feels intentional. Not shaped. Not directed. But held. As if the channel is being kept open. For no specific reason. Most people move past it. They turn the dial. They search for something clearer. A few stop. Not because they hear something, but because nothing demands their attention. The sound does not interrupt thoughts. It softens them. Minutes pass unnoticed. Sometimes, a faint shift moves through the noise. Not a voice. Not a word. More like the room itself, adjusting its position. Back at the station, the studio looks the same every night. Chairs remain pushed in. Headphones rest on the desk. As if someone might return. Dust settles slowly. Even dust seems hesitant here. The on-air sign glows red. But it does not pulse. It does not flicker. It simply continues. Time inside the studio feels different from time outside. Hours pass without accumulating. There is no sense of waiting. Only presence. The microphones remain active. Not to capture speech, but to confirm that the air still exists. Sometimes the room produces sounds on its own. A soft click. A gentle hum shifting slightly lower. Nothing alarming. Nothing clear enough to explain. People who listen to this frequency rarely talk about it. There is nothing to describe. They might mention it late at night. Half joking. Half unsure. It helps me sleep, someone says. It makes the room feel less empty. No one claims to hear voices. No one insists something is hidden inside the sound. But many listeners report the same thing. When the radio is turned off, the silence feels louder. As if the noise had been holding something back. The oldest microphone in the studio was built to capture voices. Decades ago, it recorded laughter, arguments, announcements, music. Now it records something else. Not sound. Duration. It registers the fact that time is passing. Even when nothing happens. The microphone does not judge. It does not expect. It simply stays open. If someone were to speak into it now, the sound would be recorded. But the station does not react. It does not acknowledge interruptions. The channel remains the same. Night after night. The station continues. The same hum. The same open channel. Listeners come and go. Some fall asleep with the radio on and wake to find it still playing. Others leave it running and forget it was ever there. The broadcast does not track its audience. It does not adapt. It does not evolve. It simply remains exactly as it is. There is no final message. No closing music. The station does not fade out. If the building were to collapse tomorrow, the last thing it would leave behind would not be silence. It would be the hum. A signal that never required meaning. A broadcast that never asked to be heard. Only stayed open. If you are listening now, you do not need to understand. You do not need to stay awake. You do not need to remember this later. The station does not care whether you are here. And that is why it works. The light remains on. The channel remains open. The night continues. And nothing needs to happen.